Hello, so it's been a hot minute since I have actually been and done a live, and today I'm coming at you in 3 different ways. Over on Instagram, over on my Facebook page, which I've not done. I don't think I've ever done a live on my Facebook page, so I'm really excited to give that a go. And I'm also recording this, which will go on my YouTube channel and on my website and things, so that everybody can see it and get access to it. So this week, I'm coming back to being live, excited to be here, doing what I love, talking about business, and I'm covering why you're always busy but not growing and what you can do instead. And I want to teach the difference between working a lot versus working on the right things. Now, this is a topic that actually came up because of working with a client who actually said to me that she feels like she's always busy but nothing's happening. And I said to her in response to that, it's not about the amount of work that you do or the hours that you put in and how much you hustle and how busy you are, but it's actually about making sure that when you are putting in the hours, you're doing the right things that are moving you forward. And this is the difference between working a lot and working on the right things. So I want to introduce you as a viewer, as a watcher, as a consumer of this content, to the idea that the lack of time isn't the issue. And I think deep down we all know this, we all sense this. And I know that it can be really difficult to just go, not got enough time, and that becomes an easy belief and an easy excuse, and we all walk around every day doing that and saying that same thing. But lack of time isn't the issue. In fact, we can choose how we actually spend our time, but the reality is that it's poor business structure or unclear focus that is the issue. And this is where we do get into these cycles where we are using our time. Hello, Becky. We are using the time to work in a way without much structure and without a focus. And this is what I want to help you uncover today. So the people that I'm looking to work with, looking to support, are people that are in the place where it's actually, there's a big gap. There's a massive gap. I believe there's a huge gap between the support that you want access to. And I would love to know, like, comment on this video, respond and let me know if you're in this category. There is business mentors, business coaches out there that will support you with your startup, and that is great. And I'll absolutely do that as well. But there's lots of people out there that will support you with your startup. The other side of it is, there are business coaches out there that will be teaching you how to scale and grow to 6 figures, and there's a lot of that around. And we're not actually pulled into this as much as we used to. We're not pulled into the monetary gains and those focuses as much as we used to, and that is a great thing. There's been a massive shift in the marketplace. So you as a business owner looking to grow, you're not going to be sucked in. But there is a problem, and the problem is this in-between status where you're not a startup, you're actually an established business, people do know who you are, you do have paying clients, but you're also not in the position to actually just jump to 6 figures and to scale and grow your business. And I get it. And the reason that I get it is because I'm in exactly the same place as you. The only difference between me and you is that I have 11 years business knowledge, a lot of strategy knowledge, I practice what I preach, and I have the business management, organisation and operation skills that can make that difference to make sure that you've got the right business structure in place and a clear focus. So I am not a startup, but I am very established, but I'm also not at 6 figures yet. However, the difference between me and you is that I have that plan for the 6 figures of how to achieve it. All I've got to do is the work, right? So it does sound as easy as that. So I want to take you on a journey with me today and talk about the real cost of disorganised work habits, especially if you're in a place where you may be earning maybe £2,000 a month coming in. You're paying, paying for your supplies, paying to run the business, whether that's podcast hosting, social media manager, or maybe you're not even at that point yet, but you've got a nice stable sum coming in, but it's not enough. And I think a lot of people do feel it's not enough feeling when it comes to building and growing a business. But the real cost of disorganisation with your work habits comes at not having that clear focus. So if you're in a place where, and I remember, and this was me as well, I so relate to it, where you are making £2,000 a month income, it's going back out on your expenses, and you might be just profiting a little bit, but you want to make that profit margin greater. The reality is that the work that you need to do is look at the structure of your business, how it's operating, to give you the time to work on more of the habits that will grow. So the only way to realise this is to audit where you're at right now. And I know not enough people are auditing their business. I do it on a regular basis because it's so important. But it's to audit where you are right now. How can you operate better? How can you manage your business better to increase the habits that actually are going to scale and grow your business? So if you are in that place, it's recognising what you can do right now in terms of auditing, and then shifting your operations to bring more of those healthy habits that are going to move the needle. Because there are bottlenecks that are hidden that are keeping you stuck in busyness. We're running a business, we don't want to be in busyness. Busyness is when we're actually staying busy, maybe doing loads of tasks, doing loads of things, when actually not all of those things necessarily are going to lead to growth. And I'm talking about things like procrastinating, rebranding again, because that might be the problem. And sometimes it might be, but I reckon it's not visually. I reckon it's your messaging, which you can do the work in. The problem lies is when you are busy doing these things and not implementing, like, with focus. So what I'm talking about here is, I believe, and I see it a lot, people do this work. They do the basics, they do the foundations, they look at what their business mission, the business values are, but it's not actually being pulled through how your business operates. And this is incredibly important. It's about looking at what your values are and actually operating based on those, because if you're not, that's where there is a disconnect, and that's how you can actually end up stuck in business, because maybe one of your biggest values is to have time freedom, right? And for some people it's not. They just want to keep growing the business. They just want to keep working on the business, and that's great too. But the problem here lies in that none of that is happening because you're spending the time being busy. And it's an almost automatic response when someone goes, how's business going? Busy. And sometimes we can answer that as in, oh, it's busy, like it's not a great thing. But other times we can answer that as, oh, busy, like it's a great thing. So there's two different narratives here. You want to be in the good kind of busy where everything's thriving, but you still get that time to pause, to have a rest, have a break, and continue growing. And not in the part where, if you're in a situation where you are busy on the hamster wheel, that is not why you started business. I'm pretty sure of it. So there's hidden the bottlenecks within your business that are keeping you stuck. And this will be things such as spending time procrastinating, spending time on projects that actually are not with your greater goals. So for example, if you were looking to get to 6 figures, and one of the things you wanted to do for that was to scale one of your services, then you're going and creating another offer that is totally unrelated to that is not going to scale you to 6 figures. This is a bottleneck that's keeping you stuck. And it's so common. Another one might be is that you've not actually mapped out the structure to get yourself there. I'm going to bring it back to this gap that I talked about though. I talked about the fact that you're not a start-up, but you're also not ready to scale to 6 figures. You're in the in-between, and I want to meet you where you're at. So if you are in a place where you maybe just want to scale to 5k a month, maybe £3,500 right now in a month will be great for you. And I think sometimes when we say these figures, people just think it's unattainable. It's absolutely attainable. I know this because myself, I have done it, my clients have done it on a consistent basis. And so I've seen that proof in the pudding for myself, and it's sometimes that you believe that this is not for everybody, and well, not for you even. It's not for everybody, but sometimes you believe it's not for you. But the reality is there's just hidden bottlenecks keeping you stuck that are stopping you from being able to grow to that point. And the one simple shift that you can do is create space for growth this week. So that's the question I want you to leave you with from this session today is, what can you do to create space for growth this week? Think about things that I've said, how you are stuck in busyness and not in business, how you may be working on projects that actually are not moving needles towards your bigger, greater goals. And I do this work with my clients all the time. When I'm working with clients, I'm like, right, We'll start a session. What is it that you're working towards right now? They'll offload that. They'll share that, which is great. But then what often happens is that they'll go off and they see the shiny object. I know this because it's been my behaviour for the last 10 years of my business. It's only this year. The best thing, in fact, I've got out of 2025 is my blinkers have been on for a hell of a long time. And it doesn't mean that I haven't succeeded in business, because I absolutely have with 3 different businesses. But now the blinkers are off, I am more focused than ever and paving the way for greater success with the right people. And I'm so ready to share that with other people. I want them to be able to do exactly the same. So ask yourself that question: what simple shift can you create this week to create space for growth? And as always, share it, comment below, share it with us. I would love to hear this. And like I say, I work with this with my clients, and inside my mastermind, the Time Rich Mastermind, I help you get crystal clear on what actually moves the needles. And of course, I'm the queen of business organisation, so I help you build systems so you're not drowning in your business. This can look like different for every business owner. We do not do cookie cutter, and we build the system in your way, in the way that works for your business. So I've actually got 2 invites for you today. The first invite is, I would love to invite you to come and take a look at the Time Rich Mastermind to help you get clear on what will move the needle, build the system so you can stop drowning, stop being stuck in business. If this sounds something that is going to be helpful for you, then DM me the words Time Rich to learn more, and I will share the details of the 6-month mastermind with you. It's actually got £500 off at this moment in time, and it ends on the 1st of September. So time is limited to get access to that discount, because I won't be running it again, and it's not a marketing gimmick and not a FOMO tactic. It's just something I wanted to do. But second of all, the next invite I have for you is for free. I am hosting the Charm Masterpiece workshop on the 20th of August. I cannot wait for this. And I've been having conversations with the people that are signed up already and what I can bring to it. And I'm going to be sharing my 5-part signature charm framework for business strategy and resilience and growth, because we need strategy and resilience for your business to grow. And this is not your generic business strategy training. We're not going to come together where you follow my step-by-step formula to build 6 figures. That's not what we're doing. What we're going to do together is we're going to work on my 5-step charm framework to enable you to get clear, to get focused, to be able to honour your commitment to your goals, to be able to accept where you're at and move forward, but also doing that without creating this business. And I cannot wait to share that. So what we are in fact going to do is have you leave this session ready to map out your step-by-step process, because every business's process is going to be different. And this is where the problem lies, where we do end up in business, is we follow someone else's process. Obviously, I'm sharing my framework, which is a process for strategy, but we can use it for anything in business. We can use it for your mindset, we can use it for your goals, and I'm going to show you how to take this process and adapt it to anything you're working towards within your business. But we're going to have a clear focus on your strategy so that you can go away and grow, but in a way that works for you, because we don't want you burning out. I'm on a mission and I'm passionate about helping you to create freedom and fortune in whatever way that looks like for you, without burnout and breakdown. And this is a mission that's come about because I've been on that journey many times, and I want to break cycles. I've broken them for myself, and I want to break them for you now as well. So if you would like to join me on my Charm Framework workshop, it's on the 20th of August. Either comment on the video or send me a DM and I will get you the details of that. It's completely free, and it's going to be a 2-hour workshop because we need this level. The first hour is going to be delivering the workshop. The second hour is personalised support with where you are at to give you what you need when it comes to your business growth. And I cannot wait to do this with you on Zoom. So I hope to see you there. Please accept the invite, because you never know the potential that your business can have until you action this work. Okay? But don't forget, there's one thing that you can do right now is to focus on the one simple shift to create space for growth this week within your business. Thank you so much for joining me today. please go and check out all of my other content, other videos. There is a massive, massive, what's the word? You know, I can tell I've not been live for a while. My brain's losing thought processes and words. There's an abundance of content that you can consume, of tips and things that I've shared on all of my social media, on my YouTube channel and on my podcast, and it's all great stuff. So there's that there for you as well in the meantime. But hopefully I will see you on the 20th of August or inside the Time Rich Mastermind. Bye for now.